Oh, you do? Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday, June 20th meeting of the Hoover City Council. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Council President Lyda.
Here.
Council Pro Tem Posey.
Here.
Councilmember Sweeney.
Here.
Councilmember Driver. Councilmember Murphy.
Present.
Councilmember Middlebrooks.
Here.
Councilmember McClendon.
Here. Have a quorum present, so we will continue with the meeting. And if everyone would please rise for the invocation to be delivered by the clerk and remain standing for the pledge to be led by Councilor Sweeney.
If you bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the city and its leaders. May they have wisdom and understanding and your blessings upon them. May they have encouragement and clarity, and may they have the time to dedicate to the issues of the utmost importance of the city. May they also have time for their families and their friends. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I believe the mayor has a recognition tonight. Mayor, turn the podium over.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing me this time to recognize one of our wonderful police officers, Ed Lee. Ed, come on down. Here he is. Here he comes. 25 years of service. Ed, we just kind of put you up there in the front, stare at you for a minute. Officer Leach was hired June 29th, 1998 as a patrol officer and promoted to a master police officer in 07, and then school resource officer from fall of 2008 to 2011, and then a patrol officer from 12 to 16, and then he was promoted to a detective August 2016. He's also been to our explosive ordnance disposal EOD school training. That was from part of that group from 2005 to 2012. He's been a field training officer with our department. He's been part of our special response team for the school from 2013 to 2020. He is also currently an arson investigator, firearms instructor. He is also responsible for maintaining and repairing the firearms and other weapons that we have. And those need to be inspected and cleaned and maintained and repaired, and just a variety of things that, to make sure that these weapons are correct, carry out all the various testing that you have to do to these particular firearms as well. And Ed has served our country well, as a matter of fact. When they play the Armed Forces medley, he can stand up for all of them except the United States Air Force. But he has served in all four branches other than the United States Air Force, and that's quite a feat. He's been involved in some pretty dramatic police events in his history here with Hoover, and subduing folks that have tried to do some bad things. He's pursued people with weapons and been able to arrest them and take them down. Very dangerous types of things. He's worked in our Crossroads School, which has been a great opportunity for him to work with those young people. And he even developed a program where they learn to follow different types of commands, and they're part of a physical activity program each and every day. Just a really important thing in those young people's lives, and he's been a great mentor for them as well. And since 2016, he's been in the property division, and they call him Bulldog, because once he gets on the case, he doesn't stop till it's all said and done. But he's a great guy. Everybody loves Ed. He's just a personable individual. Why are they laughing, Ed? I didn't feel that way.
My other name is Grumpy Cat.
I know. I had that right here, I wasn't gonna say that.
I'm going to throw it out there.
Ed's got his way of doing things, and that's okay. But we really do, I'm grateful for you, you've been a good friend to me as well, and just over the last 25 years, we appreciate everything that you do. Not only here at Hoover, but the fact that you served our country so well says a great deal about you, and it just says a great deal about the type of people that come and work for us. So thank you for your 25 years of service. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I recognize some special guests in the audience. We're always happy to have any citizen here who's interested in the business of the city, but we always like to recognize those appointed members of our boards and former servants of the city of Hoover. I'd like to recognize two of our park board members who I think came from a meeting just up the street to join us here. Hunter Bridwell and Ben Lloyd are here. Welcome to both of you. Board of Education member Craig Kelly is with us tonight. And former president of Hoover City Council, Gene Smith, is here. Gene, it's always a pleasure having you back. Would you join me in welcoming them to the Hoover City? We will begin with our consent agenda. You'll see before you, if you have an agenda in front of you, items 1 through 7 are presented as consent items. They'll be read as one item, and one motion will be taken, and one vote will be taken on each of these items. Unless, of course, a member of the body or a member of the public would like to have any item 1 through 7 removed, then we'll be happy to remove it to the regular agenda. I'd ask any member of the body wish to have any item 1 through 7 removed and considered under regular. Hearing none, any member of the public here would like to speak about item 1 through 7, we'd be happy to remove it from the consent. Seeing none, we'll proceed and ask Mr. Corey to read the items, please.
Item number 1 is the approval of the minutes from the April 13th, 2023 work session and the April 17th, 2023 meeting. Item 2, resolution 6949-23 approves an alcohol license for Hero Donuts Trace Crossings LLC doing business as Hero Donuts and Buns located at 1013 Marble Terrace, Hoover, Alabama for the sale of 020 restaurant retail liquor. Resolution 695023 approves an alcohol license for Gunter Oil Company doing business as Greystone Chevron located at 6950 Cahaba Valley Road, Hoover, Alabama for the sale of 050 retail beer off premises only and 070 retail table wine off premises only. Resolution 695123 authorizes Mayor Rocato to execute a renewal agreement with Global Aerospace, Inc. for an unmanned aircraft insurance policy for the City of Hoover and to execute any and all documents related thereto. Resolution 695223 authorizes Mayor Rocato to execute an agreement with Travelers Insurance and Surety Company of America for crime insurance policy for the City of Hoover and execute any and all documents necessary for that agreement. Resolution 695423 authorizes Mayor Rocato to execute a renewal agreement with Alliant Insurance Services, Inc. for stop-loss insurance policy for the City of Hoover and to execute any and all documents necessary for that renewal. Resolution 695323 authorizes Mayor Rocato to execute an agreement with SHI for Microsoft licensing true-up and to execute any and all documents related thereto.
Mr. President, I move for approval of the consent agenda.
Second. We have a motion and a second for approval of the consent agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. The ayes have it, and the motion carries. We'll now move to our regular agenda, beginning with item number 8, resolution number 6957-23. Mr. Corey.
This resolution authorizes Mayor Rocato to execute a facility management agreement between the City of Hoover, Alabama, and the Public Park and Recreation Board for the City of Hoover and Hoover SFM LLC for the management of the Hoover Metropolitan Complex and to execute any and all documents related thereto.
Mr. President, I move for approval of resolution number 6957-23.
Second. We have a motion and a second for approval. Any questions or comments from the body? Questions or comments from the public? For those who may not be familiar with our proceedings, we did have a work session on Thursday night where Ms. Koval was able to update us on the workings of this agreement. Mr. Jason Clement, CEO of SFM is with us tonight, so should there be any questions, we'd be happy to take those. Seeing no questions, we have a motion and a second for approval. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries. Item number 9, resolution number 6958-23. Mr. Corley.
This resolution authorizes Mayor Brocato to execute an intergovernmental agreement for improvement and recreational use of school facilities between the Board of Education of the City of Hoover, Alabama, and the City of Hoover, Alabama, and the Public Park and Recreation Board of the City of Hoover, and to execute any and all documents necessary to that agreement.
Mr. President, I move for approval of resolution number 6958-23.
Second. We have a motion and a second for approval. Any questions or comments from the body tonight? Any comments from the public? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries. Item number 10 is resolution number 6955-23. Mr. Corley.
This declares a weed or other vegetation nuisance and directs the abatement of that nuisance pursuant to Alabama law at the locations listed in the resolution.
Mr. President, I move for approval of resolution number 6955-23.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Martin, welcome back. We extend our sympathies in the loss of your grandmother. We missed you on Thursday night, but glad to have you.
Thank you, very much appreciated. Just want to give you guys a quick update. According to code enforcement, 2 of the addresses that we had on the agenda that were discussed at the work session were cut over the weekend, and that leaves us with 1700 White Oak Place and 1729 Mont Eagle that are still in need of some attention.
2 for 4 ain't bad.
Not bad.
Any questions for Mr. Martin? You see pictures before you of those that still need to be cut. Anyone from the public here representing either of these properties like to speak before we vote? We have a motion and second for the remedy of 2 properties. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries. We'll now move to item number 11, resolution number 6956-23, Mr. Corley.
This resolution authorizes the abatement of a public nuisance and orders the demolition and removal of an unsafe building or structure located at 3416 Cedar Crest Circle, Hoover, Alabama, 35216.
Mr. President, I move to continue resolution number 6956-23 to the call of the chair.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Mr. Mack, we understand you have an update on this property.
Yes, sir. I'm going by the property this afternoon. I did notice that there has been some work that has taken place on the deck that previously appeared to be falling off the side of the townhome. I appreciate the opportunity with the continuance to reach out to the building department to ensure that permits were indeed issued for that and inspections were carried out. If that is not the case, we'll be back.
Very good. Any questions or comments about the motion to continue from the body? Anyone here to represent the property like to speak tonight? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second to continue out under the call of chair. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the motion carries. Item number 12 is ordinance number 23-2601. Mr. Corley.
This ordinance amends ordinance number 263 for the property located at 2780 John Hawkins Parkway, further described and shown in map and Exhibit A to the ordinance. The property is currently zoned C2 Community Business District with conditions. This ordinance would amend one of the conditions to permit morning deliveries beginning at 4 a.m. until 10 p.m. The property would remain zoned C2 with other conditions still intact.
Mr. President, I move for the adoption of ordinance number 23-2601.
Second. We have a motion and second for adoption of the ordinance. Mr. Martin.
As Mr. Corley stated, the only change that is being requested to the conditions that were placed on the zoning of this property in 1999 is to alter the delivery hours from the 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. time frame to the 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. time frame. This change to the zoning of the property comes with a positive recommendation from the Planning Commission at their May meeting.
Any questions or comments from the body for Mr. Martin? Hearing none. Mr. Vickery, we'll begin with you. If you can get your name and address, please, sir. You're recognized for 3 minutes.
Yes, I'm Barry Vickery. I live at 780 Cahaba River Estates.
I'm one of the directors on the Homeowners Association, but I'm here as an individual in my individual capacity. There is an agreement that was issued or executed 23 years ago that I personally signed, Walmart personally signed, and everybody signed the agreement. In this agreement, there's a procedure to modify. And I'm asking that y'all consider a continuance of voting on this until next meeting to allow me to get with Walmart and the City of Hoover to modify that in accordance to the agreement. The agreement provides for enforcement provisions. The Homeowners Association is not going to go to court or anything like that, but, you know, I reluctantly, I don't want to have to go to court for injunctive relief and things of that nature, and I think we can work this out and save everybody, or at least the City of Hoover and Walmart, the cost of going through a court proceeding to enforce an injunction. So I'm asking, you know, please consider letting this be on next month's agenda, and at that time vote on it. I think we can work out something positive, and, you know, like you to take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vickery. It's my understanding, sir, Chuck, name and address, please.
Yes, sir. I'm Glenn Wilkins. I'm the Director of Public Affairs and Government Relations for Walmart, 702 Southwest 8th Street, Bentonville, Arkansas. We have been in conversation with Cahaba Homeowners Association since about February. We've been working with the president, James Sasser. We've had repeated conversations with him about this. And I don't want to speak for him, but we've all had very productive conversations about the need for this. We haven't had any real issues. We haven't had any issues with this one specific request. There are 24 requests. This is one request to be able to deliver earlier. The other 23 will remain intact. The agreement that we had is that we would work with HOA, that Walmart would, that Walmart would, as well as the property owner for the other developments. So we've been doing that since about February. This will allow us to bring trucks in to deliver and have a grocery pickup at 7 a.m., which we're doing, but we can get fresh produce in first thing in the morning for the customers.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to comment tonight?
So, Mr. President, so just is it a covenant that requires a document to be agreed upon by the homeowners in order to proceed? I just want to be clear.
I'll just say from an administration standpoint, we have not been in receipt of this signed and executed agreement. We've requested it at the planning commission level. We requested it the last time this rezoning issue came up, and have yet to see a fully signed and executed document that the gentleman is referring to.
Okay, is this a document that's required to be in probate court filed, or is this an agreement?
No, sir, this is a litigation
Mr.
settlement.
Vickery, I'm sorry. So you were recognized to make a comment. The question was for Mr. Martin.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm
Yes, sir.
sorry.
Thank you.
I saw him sitting down.
Yes, sir.
I'm not aware of a recorded document that states the items that Mr. Vickery is referring to.
It's my understanding, Mr. Corley, that we've been, as the gentleman from Bentonville said, we've been going through this since February. Walmart came before the body, did not receive a favorable vote, but it worked since then with the Homeowners Association and the city to get to this. And there has been some litigation over this matter.
Correct.
And that has been adjudicated in court, correct, Mr. Courtney?
It has been adjudicated in favor of the city. Mr. Vickery filed 2 applications for rehearing with Alabama Supreme Court, which were denied. And the city is perfectly within its right and has the authority to rule on this zoning case.
Very good. Mr. Martin, do you have anything else to add?
Nothing else to add.
Councilman Murphy? Very good. We have a motion and second for adoption of the ordinance. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney?
Aye.
Mr. Murphy?
Aye.
Dr. Middlebrooks?
Aye.
Mr. McClinton?
Aye.
Mr. Latta?
Aye, with a vote of 6 ayes and 0 nays, the motion carries and the ordinance is adopted. Item number 13 is resolution number 6944-23, Mr. Court.
This resolution grants conditional use approval at 6543 Quail Run Drive for the operation of an in-home daycare with the conditions listed on Exhibit 2 attached to this resolution.
Mr. President, I move for approval of resolution number 6944-23.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Martin?
Mr. President, again, this item comes to you with a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission for approval of this conditional use with the following conditions. That 1, it meets all the criteria for the same under building and fire codes. 2, the hours of operation be limited from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. 3, the use is limited to 5 children with 1 adult, 12 children with 2 adults. Applicant may pursue a variance for an additional child to bring the total number of children to 6 under the supervision of 1 adult, consistent with what the Alabama Department of Human Resources has approved for this daycare. This approval would also cover any future amendments to the zoning ordinance meant to bring the home daycare requirements in line with state regulations. And finally, the 4th condition, that the use maintains the existing fenced area in the rear yard. I will note that there is an amendment to the zoning ordinance, actually later in your agenda tonight for a first reading, to bring that child occupant number in line with state law.
Very good. We have a motion and second for the resolution. Any questions for Mr. Martin from the body on this item? Any comments from the public tonight before we vote? We have a motion and second for approval. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries. The first reading that Mr. Martin referred to will be handled now under item 14, ordinance number 23-2602. Mr. Court.
This ordinance modifies the zoning ordinance of the City of Hoover, Section 3.01.30, and the Municipal Code of the City of Hoover, Chapter 8, Article 16, Section 8-460, by deleting the definition of daycare home and replacing it with the definition outlined in the ordinance.
Mr. Martin, I think you adequately stated it, but you're welcome to state it again.
No, sir, I believe we covered it already.
Very good. This is a first reading. We will gather again at our next appointed meeting to have a second reading and potential vote on that ordinance. Any general comments from the council tonight?
One comment, Mr. President. I do want to recognize the city for all the work they do regarding nuisance. I don't really think that people realize how much it takes to deal with abatements and things of that nature unless it impacts your home. You're talking about not just from rodents, but accumulation of mosquitoes and things of that nature. There's not proper maintenance of that. And Mr. Martin, how many, it can be in a calendar year, you revisit the same address on multiple occasions, and it's a lot of process just for cutting a yard one time. So again, a lot of work goes with that. How many folks are even in that department, Mayor, that just handles that piece of it?
In his department,
Yeah, it handles that piece of it, nuisance.
that's the 2,
So two
you look at one of them, the other.
2 out of a 45 square mile city ain't growing. So
He's gonna be asking for help.
yeah, well, I'm just stating the obvious here. Thank you.
Thank you for recognizing that, Councilman Murphy. Chief Bentley tells me that we have a brand new fire engine in service. New engine 2 is located outside City Hall, and the crew from engine 2 is here tonight, and I'm sure they'd be delighted to show it off. And Mr. Smith, maybe let you toot the horn out there. So I encourage you to go out and check it out. And take a look at our new engine. Any public comments tonight from members of the public? Seeing none, the council will now go into executive session under Alabama Code 36-25A-7. I need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second? We have a motion second for executive session. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney?
Aye.
Mr. Murphy?
Aye.
Dr. Middlebrooks?
Aye.
Mr. McClinton?
Aye.
Mr. Lyda?
Aye, with a vote of 6 ayes and 0 nays, the motion carries, and we will go into executive session. The body will not return to this room. We will adjourn the meeting publicly here, go into our executive session, and let the clerk know when that concludes. I will let her know. Okay, Madam Clerk? Very good, thank you.